Papa nona grindo, Buddha Buddha uno peja ubona. Tate nona grindo, Buddha Buddha uno peja ubona. Papa nona grindo, Buddha Buddha uno peja ubona. Poya nona grindo, Buddha Buddha uno peja ubona. Poya nona grindo, Buddha Buddha uno peja ubona. Tate nona grindo, Buddha Buddha uno peja ubona. Papa no uno peja ubona. Poya no uno peja ubona. Poya nona grindo, Buddha Buddha uno peja ubona. Tate nona grindo, Buddha Buddha uno peja ubona. Mavado, Polinya badwa matako chimambo. Mavado, Polinya badwa matako chimambo. Mavado, yo sabadwa matako chimambo. Mavado, Polinya badwa matako chimambo. Bahakbahe shina hatoi, bahakbahe shina hatoi, te china nogba te kana vurenu. Bahakbahe shina hatoi, bahakbahe shina hatoi, te china nogba te kana vurenu. Mevado, polinya vadron joto chimabu. Abu. My greetings to everyone watching us at this very moment, and those who will be watching us later. Today we are here again live to give you details about God. Yes. Now, last week we treated who is God. Today, the questions that we have to answer, we decided to come your way today with, do we worship God? This has been one of the dominant question asked. So we decided to come your way with this brilliant, beautiful question. Do we worship God as far as our traditional system is concerned? And when it comes to the definition of God, how did our ancestors define God? Today, we want to take you into this serious dimension of the universe. So, God, do we worship God? The answer simply and brilliantly is no. If you want to worship God, or if God is to be worshipped, we have to know the existence of God. Coming into the African system of God and creation, we do not have God sitting somewhere that we can point that this is the God that we have to worship.
But I want to take you into how our forefathers defined God, and then I come back to how if man can worship God or not. Our ancestors, through a cosmology, defined the universe and brilliantly defined if God exists or not. So therefore, according to a cosmology, we do not have any person sitting somewhere in the sky that we can call God. That one day if we die, we will either go to him or go to hell. We don't have any knowledge system as far as God is concerned. So what we did have about God is that I want to come down again to the level of the sun and the moon. So just for the few who were not able to watch the last video that we displayed. So the level of God, as far as our system is concerned, is about the sun and the moon. And the sun and the moon, they are heavenly bodies that are giving us energies, radiating energy in their various forms. And for that matter, we respectfully regard them as heavenly bodies, as a universal bodies that are also playing their role as far as life is concerned. But our ancestors did not consider the sun the God. They did not consider the moon as God, but what they refer to it as the very heavenly bodies responsible for generating life materials, for generating materials that are to sustain the living thing below them. But they are not, so to say, God as believed by other group of people. Now, in our ancestors' cosmology, the sun and the moon, we refer the sun as a father energy or a male energy. The moon is mother energy or a female energy. And for that matter, they have their respective roles that they play. And also, the individual planets or planetary system that are also going around the sun, they are also considered as heavenly bodies. And mind you, they are also playing their individual roles as far as life is concerned. But the sun and the moon are being considered as father and mother energy that are radiating their individual energy, supporting life below them. So today, the question is, do we worship God? And if you want to answer this question, you have to look for the existence of God. Where is God? Can you see God? Do we have God in our existence? If yes, then you have to show us where that God is. If no, then you also have to give us the reason why you say no. Now, looking into our system, what we have from the first system indicated that God, as other system, believe that he or she existed living in the sky or somewhere, that the sun is sitting at his left or right hand side. We as the African spiritual system does not believe in that theory. And for that matter, we don't want to go details into that doctrine. But we want to give you briefly about what our ancestors did talk about as far as God issues are concerned. So, the moon and the sun are what we refer to as entities, universal body responsible for the daily activities. The sun is always radiating the day energy towards our sustainability, and the moon is also working daily to help the living things to grow, to develop. For that matter, we don't have a God sitting somewhere that we have to worship. But I want to give you some brilliant definition about the moon and the sun. In fact, if the sun should stop operating, that means that there's going to be the end of the entire universe. I repeat, if the sun stops its operations, it means the universe is going to have an issue, because the sun is actually what is responsible for the living to succeed and grow and sustain themselves. So if that power, that energy should disappear from existence or should stop operating, then there's going to be an issue. So for that matter, let us all respect our system. For that matter, let us all respect our ancestral system, because these heavenly bodies, they are what are giving us our daily life. The moon is always there in the night, radiating the energy of development, the energy of growth to all of us. So, in the wisdom of our ancestors, they did know, because our ancestors were the first group of humans evolved. So they knew about the significance of the sun and the moon and the other heavenly bodies. For that matter, they did establish the replica. They did establish the sun energies within their environment. They did establish the moon within their environment. And they also established other heavenly bodies for a reason. So, our ancestors don't consider any being sitting somewhere in the deep of space that or is expecting us that once we die, there's gonna be a judgment day that will be judged. No, we don't believe in that theory. So coming back to our theory. Now, looking at these heavenly bodies as our ancestors did establish in their individual domain or nature, why is it that necessary for our ancestors to establish an energy called Gu? You know, we call the sun Gu. Why is it that necessary for our ancestors to call Gu to their domain? Why is it that is important for our ancestors to establish the moon within our nature? There are reasons, and we are going to give you these reasons. Now, looking at the need for human development, looking at the need for sustainability, because our ancestors were the first group of humans on this surface of earth, they did understand that the sun is very superior. The moon and the other heavenly bodies are so important that they cannot live without them. So therefore, they establish, they replicate, they brought down the energies of the sun in their nature, in their environment. They brought down the energies of the moon and the other heavenly bodies in their nature, so that life can have equal development on this planet. So, there are questions that, do the various deities represent God? First, the sun and the moon. Before I answer this question, the sun, if you go to the Christian system, they always talk about the sun. If you don't know, the 25th December is always attached to the sun god. It's always attached to the sun god. And for that matter, if you don't believe that system, then there's going to be an issue. Yes, so there's going to be an issue, because the Christianity, as we call it today, originates from a certain geographical location, and that location believe in the sun god. When you go to our brother Muslims, they also believe in the moon. That is why you see on their tower, on their church buildings, on their mosque, the symbol of the moon. That means that in the ancient system, they believe that there is energy coming from the moon. There is energy coming from the sun. That is the reason why you see the other religious system projecting the sun and the moon. But when you come to our system, looking at it clearly, you can understand that our ancestors long ago understood the significance of the moon and the sun. So, if you go to the olden language of Germany, what our ancestors call Buddha, I have been telling you from this very point, from a Fasafia center, that the universal energies, the entities holding the universe, is what our ancestors call Buddha. Buddha Meiji in the fan, Buddha Meiji in the fan, and Gu is the father, Da is the mother. Today I am going to tell you a very brief story in Buddha Meiji that indicates that the Buddha is what is actually the father mother of the planetary universe. Yes, I will tell you today. So, if you go to the old Germanic language, they call God Buddha. Buddha. How our ancestors also call God. We call it Buddha. But I am telling you that looking at the word God, which today we believe that it is a human being or something that is hidden somewhere that will be coming to judge us. There is nothing like that, but rather the word God originated from the word Buddha, Buddha Meiji. Buddha Meiji. The word God originated from the word Buddha. So, a far cosmology did indicate that system long ago, before creation of time. So we call it Buddha in the far cosmology. In African concept, we call it Buddha. And the old Germanic language call it Buddha. Then later they changed it to Gudan. They brought N to the end of it and they call it Gudan. Then later, Gudan was corrupted to God. Today, we are giving you details about where God, the word God, originated from. And this concept has deceived the entire universe, believing that there is God sitting somewhere. But rather, what the entire universe is referring to as God is actually Buddha in a farm. There is a story in a farm, Buddha Meiji, that once upon a time, a female energy and a male energy in their own state, the female energy decided to roam about and was roaming and finally got to a state where that state is a state of fire. That is a state of Gu, the state of the sun. And who is this female energy? Da. Da is the female energy. So that was revolving, was going around, and finally arrived in a state called the burning world. And that burning world, the king of that burning world is called Gu. So Gu saw that, and they spoke, and then they came together, and then Da got pregnant. So when they got pregnant, that one time is due for her to deliver. So that again, because it's going around, that again go back to Gu, in telling Gu that time is due for her to deliver. And then Gu told that see, my region here is a burning region. You cannot give birth here. So find elsewhere to go and deliver. Da, looking at the situation and realizing that time is not on her side, she said, if that is the case, then she rather go to her mother, her female partner, which she called Beko in the story, which happens to be earth. Beko, a nature that can sustain life, because God herself said that she cannot deliver in her own house, because that house cannot also grow or develop or sustain the child. So that went to Beko, which is the earth, and deliver her children on the earth. And then she went back. These children, they grew up, and then they were looking for who their parents are. So they went to consult Efa, and the code that came for them is called Guda Meji. So what happened? Efa told them that you have to go in search of your father and your mother, that they don't live here. So go and look for them. So Efa asked them to carry something. I'll make it short because of the video. So Efa asked them to take some water, some food, and some bow and arrow, some stuff along, and go in search of their parents. So they went, followed the steps of the directive of Efa, and they went. When they went, they were in search of their parents. So they were throwing their bow and arrow and all of that. They were going, and then they came across an old man. And the man asked them what they are looking for. They said, oh, they threw their arrow and it got lost and they are looking for it. The man said, oh, there's a lot of heat energy on his head. So if they can, pour some water on the head so it can calm down. That is the sun. So the children helped him with the water. And then he showed them where the arrow failed. So going to pick the arrow, they met an old woman who is also holding her stomach. My children, what are you looking for? They said, oh, we are looking for our arrow. She also asked them for food, which they gave her. Then she showed them where the arrow went. So what happened? They went in to pick the arrow. Before they realized, there came the old man and then the old lady, telling them that they are their parents, because in their world they cannot sustain them there. That is why they delivered them here. So now when they were in search of their parents, they were singing. They were singing along the way, looking for their father and their mother. So what song are they singing? My producer, can you remind me with that song? Guda Meji. Baluti boleno baluti, baluti so malagbagi bona. Fiadalo aohe, lumina na fiama dao, ebono fiaye tatala, no fiaye gudala. Fiadalo aohe, egbami logo no ne fiada betu ya mele de la jo, de la kotulolo be aohe. Awutolo awumohe, awuto besue malema, bewe maleji bonai. Fiadalo aohe, fiaohe. So these children were looking for their father and the mother. That simply tells you that everything that exists on this planet Earth are coming from the sun and the moon. And the moon is the mother of our planetary system. And the sun happens to be the father of the planetary system. So these two bodies, heavenly bodies, are responsible for the life that we have here. That is what we are saying. So for all that we need to know is that the word God, this is a breaking news. The word God is called Buddha Meiji. It's called Buddha. It's never called God. The word God came from a fan. The word God was initially called Buddha in a fan, and later in the old Germanic language they corrupted it and called it Buddha. They also call it Buddha though, and then later they call it Buddha. You can Google and see Gudan. You will see Buddha, which they call God, but it is not Buddha. They added the N because they want to deceive you, the black man. The knowledge is yours. Do not follow any knowledge that was brought to you from a foreign land. That is never your knowledge. Your knowledge is embedded within your genetic, within you. So Buddha Meiji later corrupted to become Gudan, and today they are calling it God. So what we want you to know is that there is nothing called God apart from what we know as the sun Gu, the moon Da. These are the two things that we know. They are responsible for creativity in the universe. And if the sun and the moon should stop operating, that is going to be the end of the universe. Whether you believe it or not, this is coming from a fan's cosmology. So what you need to understand is that the universe as we see it today, in our human domain aspect of life, the sun and the moon is the father, mother, protecting, sustaining our life. That is what we have for you today. Now, in the wisdom of our ancestors, because they understood what the Gu, what the sun is, they understand how the moon that is, which the two is called Buddha. So I want you to know that even if you want to believe that there is God somewhere, don't call it God, call it Buddha. That name alone is a universal sound formula that can help you project, develop you, rather than call it God. In the name of God, there is nothing. But I believe in my ancestors' wisdom that in the name of Buddha lies life. I believe. I trust. Yes. I do. So in the name of Buddha lies the power of the universe. There is nothing in the name of God or Jesus. There is that one. Where is it even coming from? We have nothing like that. There is nothing like that. So what we want you to know is that you, the African child, you must go home, go back home. There is a need for you to redefine yourself, because today we are telling you that the word God originated from Buddha and later called Gudan, and then today they are calling it God. Now, our ancestors in their wisdom, they realized that they need the energies of the sun and the energies of the moon in their daily activities. So because they did understand how the Buddha, how the sun itself was created. They know how the moon was created, so they brought those energies back close to them on this planet. So somebody is asking, do the various deities represent God? Yes. But the question is supposed to be, do the various deities represent Buddha, not God? Forget about the word God. There is nothing like that. Now, the various deities, as I said, we establish the deity, or we establish the sun energy right in our individual homes. And we even have the centralized ones. Again, we have the energy of the moon in our individual homes, and we have the centralized one as well. So, we have today, we have the individual gu in the individual homes. Then we have the centralized one, which we call, which we call Niblan. I will give you what we call Niblan later on. The word that was corrupted to be called Niblan, I will give it to you, but I'm not ready to give you that one today. Yes. So, and then we have that established in our individual homes, communities, and then we have the national ones. One example is called Togui Ajimakwe Kliko. So we have these energies within our system, and then we have the universal energies, the cosmos, the deity that control the entire cosmos, including the Gu and the Dan, also available. Yes. Now, but do we worship them? No, we don't. Our ancestors, they have never worshipped any deity, or what you call voodoo. They have never worshipped any one of them. Yes, I repeat, our ancestors never worshipped. There is no word in our knowledge system that you can equate to the word worship. What you call Subo is not Subo. We don't have Subo, Mau. We don't even have Mau as God. Yes. What we call Mau is actually Ma is Da. Wu is Gu. So you can equate it like that. But we don't have what you think Mau, what you think God exists somewhere beyond the sun and the moon. Please forget it. I wish we have more details for you. Do we worship them? We don't worship them. Let me give you this example. If you have a car, you have to be doing maintenance for this car. You have to love this car to the sense that it will look like you are worshiping your car, but you don't worship the car. You are maintaining the car. You are showing maintenance so that the car can always be in a state of readiness to help you anytime you need it. That is what our ancestors always do, and we are still doing. So we don't worship them, but rather these energies, we command them, we call upon them to come and work for us. So if you are using them, you have to maintain them, but we don't worship them. Somebody is asking, why do we have them, these deities? Why don't we have them? We need to have them because the sun, what is the sun doing? Remember, the sun is not only feeding the human, it's feeding the humans, it's feeding the water, it's feeding the fire, it's feeding the animals, the birds, the air. Everything in this universe is benefiting from the radiation of the sun. Everything in this universe is benefiting from the radiation of the moon. The same way, everything in the universe is also benefiting from the radiation of the planetary world. We shall give you details on all of these things, believe me. So, we have these deities because we need to respect the energies that provide us life. So, if you don't respect and regulate and maintain what gives you life, one day you wake up and the source of life will be ceased, and that is going to be the end of life. So, Guda Meji. Baluti pona no balueti so malagbe pona o. Fiada nyalo o e, polinya na fiamada o. Fiada lo so o, polinya na fiada e. So what he's saying is that show me my father, show me my mother. Show me my father, Gu, the sun, and show me my mother, Da, the moon. So the two is what we call Da, Loso. Loso. So, in actual sense, we actually respect, maintain the energies that are giving us life. So they benefit us in several ways. For example, our ancestors established energies. I told you that we have 16 universal energies that constitute the entire creation. And all of these energies, 16 universal energies, our ancestors established them. Yes, they did establish them. So there is a need for our ancestors to establish and maintain them. So we have all of them. The reasons why we are not suffering from earthquake, we are not suffering from the tsunamis, the distractions. Bahojo mieibo, ahojo mieibo, papa sa hojo mieibo, ba unoma kuna o, bokoma kuna o, jobana makuna o. Ahojo mieibo, ebe ahojo mieibo, papa sa ahojo mieibo, bokoma kuna o, awuna makuna o, jogana makuna o, raba makuna o, toto makuna o, bahojo mieibo. Our ancestors needed to establish this destructive, to establish against the destruction of the universe. So those of you who still think that what our ancestors established are evil, are primitive, are satanic, you have gotten it wrong. I am telling you, the last day or the last energy, the last deity, the last energies established by our ancestors will be destroyed. That will be the end of our home. Yes. There will be a tsunami that we cannot control. There will be an earthquake that we cannot control. So our ancestors, in their wisdom, they are far than the scientific instrument or device called space machine. Our ancestors believed, understand the system, understand the universe, that there are destructive forces. So those destructive forces, there has to be the universal order, so as to respect, to maintain, to make stability in the human domain, in the human environment. Reasons why our ancestors have to establish the energy of the sun, the energy of the moon, Buddha, which the German, or the old German language called Buddha, which today is called God. So what we are telling you is that go back home and believe in your ancestral knowledge system. Yes, there is nothing anywhere superior than what your ancestors gave you, than what is or was embedded in your human state, in your genetic. So let us all understand God, the word God does not exist. And how God was defined is wrong. What they call day and night, I am going to add it to this teaching. The universe has indeed established. Our ancestors in their wisdom also said that the universe came from Sa. Look at it. Dark energy. Our universe came from Sa, the dark energy. And the dark energy, Sa, give birth to Chi, or what we call Che Meji in Afa. Sa or Sa Meji in Afa. So this two is called Sache. So this is the power of Sa, the power of Chi. So the two is called Sache or Sache. Yes. This is our cosmology. This is our cosmology. So we have empowered this piece, the originator of death, to the entire universe. So you see the song, you just heard me sing, Ahojo Mieyibo, Papa sa Ahojo Mieyibo. But you bana wakuna o, amagbeto ya. So what it means is that human being is deathless beings. We don't die. We cannot die. We only change the body and go back to nature and come back to where? Your body again. So the universe started with dark energy, night energy, and this is the day energy. So in the heaven, we say Zado, but it's not Zado. Toto Sao is telling you that it is Sado, or better still, Sado. The dark energy has come. Sado. And then, if you see your fellow Boko in the daytime, you greet your fellow Boko, Chi, Miechia, Miechia. This is Chemeji. The awakening energy, energy of consciousness, energy of enlightenment. So, Chi came from Sa. So the most powerful energy in the entire universe is dark energy. That is the reason why the black man, the dark man, is the one with the most powerful energy in the entire cosmos. And we use those dark energies, those power, to produce, to prepare Sa-beast, and which can take you everywhere you go. And we use the energy of Che or Chemeji to prepare this. The two is called Sache. And there is something there which we will tell you later. How creation was coming, and there was a lot of stagnation, and they have to pay obeisance, homage to Lebagbo for the. We will come back later for that. So let us all respect that our ancestors, they knew God, what they call God, Buddha. We have knowledge about it. There is nobody in this universe that can define or call or explain what they are calling God. They cannot even explain what they are calling God. But we can rather define what Buddha, which was later corrupted to become Buddha, which is now God. We can give perfect definition of it. Where the sun came from, I know. Where the moon came from, I know. The things that came together to make the moon, I know. The things that came together to make the sun, I know. Things that the scientific community are making sure, sending space machine to go and get clue from. I first said it thousands of years before the first scientific man was born. So believe your ancestors. This service and the Chibis, the two Sache, yes, we are giving them out. If you are ready, you can call us and come and pick yours. Yes. These are what we have for you. So you have to. We have some few questions we want to So we have, yes, we have upcoming program that we want to share with you. It's coming this December. We will come very soon to give you the specific date that we will be holding this event. It's going to be a mind-blowing definition of consciousness, definition of awakening is what will be given to you that day. So, and then we also have, you can go live and watch us. So we shall also be coming Sunday to talk about the Wednesday bonds. The day Wednesday, what does it mean in terms of cosmology? And when it comes to the human aspect, what does it mean as well? We are coming with all of these details on this very Sunday. But then, follow, like the video, the teachings, and share as well. That is what we have for you. And also, the contacts are scrolling on the screen. You can contact us, you can call us through +233 24491 2383. +233 24491 2383. Yes, we have somebody is saying that Kojo Papanto, keep on teaching the ancient wisdom. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much, my brother. Angela Akwe, thank you for watching. All the people who are watching us live and those who will be watching later. Yes, we thank all of you for being there, always making sure that we deliver the exact knowledge of our ancestors. That is what we have. And we also have the retentive memory. We also have the retentive memory, which is also from the formula of Sa and Chi. So we call it Nyasa, Nyasa. You see, the whole cosmos came out of Sa. So if you want to know anything in this life, if it is, let me just, what should I mention? Anything that you want to know. For you to know that thing, you have to know the Sa of that thing. If you don't know the Sa of that thing, forget it. You know nothing. So if you want to know yourself, you want to know the Sa of yourself. That is what we call it Nyasa. So if you want to know me, Tutu Sao, you have to know Sa. Yes. So, yes. So we have the beast here, sachet, that we are giving out. If you are ready, you can call us. We'll give you. Yes. And remember, this very December, we are coming your way with a spectacular event that is going to shake the universe, events that is going to talk about the awakening power of man and woman, how to awaken yourself and know your Sa and your Chi. So Buddha is actually what they are calling God today. The old German language call it Buddha. They later corrupted it and call it Gudan because they want to cover our ancestors' knowledge. So they later call it Gudan, and now they are calling it God. What a sin! What is this? So we are giving you all of these details that your ancestors originate the language that the whole cosmos is speaking, the language of man. The language the animals are speaking, the birds are speaking, humans are speaking, was originated by our ancestors. So believe in dark energy. Nobody should come and tell you that dark energy is evil. Dark energy is what gives birth. Remember, they even in their scripture, they told you that the universe started from the night, and then God said, let there be light, let there be Chi, and then Chi came. What is Chi and what is Sa? You know, if you go to the accounts, they also call the dark matter, the dark energy. They call it Sa. So in the night they say Adiasa. Sa. You see, that should tell you that the Ebers, the Gans, the Akans, we are one people. The Ebers, when the day break, we call it Chi. The Akans, when the day break, what do they say? Michechiamo Adiachi. And this is what we are talking about. The universal language. We are not talking about something that they call God, which has no meaning. The meaning is, go back to Buddha. You'll find what Buddha is. And I said, Buddha is the sun and the moon. So this is what we have for you today. And my name is Tutusao. So you can call that and we can give you more of the ancestral teachings. Thank you very much. We shall see you again coming Sunday, where we give you details on Wednesday bombs and their heads and their universal energies around the cosmological aspect and the human aspect. Before I end my video, my teaching, those of you who are using our knowledge editing your book, we are also writing our knowledge in our book. So if you are stealing our knowledge, be very careful. Indeed, a word to a wise is enough. So thank you very much for watching us. Advise those stealing our knowledge, advise them. Thank you. You know yourself, or they know themselves. Thank you very much. My name is Tutusao.
Hey, I'm a blend, I'm a better, oh. I found a way. I found a drag. My father will do me. Make a lemon, you fat to one. Kaka, the universe started from the night, and then
Alele bolomila holae aje ba chelele bauno mienyi balo.
Alele bolomila holae
Aje ba chelele
auno menye
balo ba.